on the NBA Today. Chris Webber's shoulder will separate him from Washington's lineup. Clyde and the Rockets glide to the McDonald's championship without their Big Mac. Will the Rain Man once again reign out west? Or will the Suns rise above the rest? We'll size up the Pacific Division. His airness makes his return to Showtime. And, hey, what are these guys doing on our show? So don't get all worked up, folks. The NBA Today is next. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the basketball show that works the baseline like nobody else. It's the NBA Today. I'm Mark Jones in the house along with the Jam Posse, which includes Jack Ramsey and David Moore. Let's work. The Bullets have a $58 million man. He's supposed to carry the team to an NBA title on his broad shoulders. One problem, though, he's got a bum shoulder. Chris Webber dislocated his left shoulder Saturday against Indiana. Here's how it happened. He suffered the injury at the end of the first quarter when he tried to take the ball away from Reggie Miller right there. It's the same shoulder that he hurt 10 months ago, an injury which caused him to miss 19 games, a serious one at that. Now, Webber was supposed to see doctors Monday, but medication left him groggy. He saw a shoulder specialist Tuesday. Thursday, he's supposed to meet with team physicians. The Bullets said he wanted to get several opinions before he makes a decision on surgery. Are the Bullets, because I'm close to the edge. Wallace having a good preseason so far. The Bullets taking on in elevation right there on the alley-oop slam dunk. He had 18 points, a team high. Juwan Howard passes to Wallace inside. Wallace with the slam. I said he was playing well. He finished with 9. The Bullets win it 99-89 in Toronto against the Raptors. Meanwhile, the Nets and the Blazers are Vytas Sabonis, the Lithuanian center, with a soft hook shot. He had 11 points in the first quarter. The Blazers defense starting to break at the other end. Down court they come. Wingfield up court to Aaron McKee. Soft finger roll. Yes, he can finger roll. He had 20. Then the Blazers still breaking. Wingfield for the Jam. He had 12 points. First round pick, Randolph Childress, driving, dishing to, yeah, that's the bonus out there. He had 17 points, 13 boards. The Blazers win big time. Moving right along, the Bucks and the Pistons. Look at this move. Grant Hill against the rookie, taking the rock to the rack with a slam. The Pistons win it. Jordan against, well, spaceman Rodman. Jordan breaking off Payton, something real proper. Left-handed to the hoop. Jordan finished with 35 points. And then, where have we seen this before? Rodman almost hit the official in that sensitive spot. Almost. He gets a T for his troubles. Then Kemp let the rhythm hit him. Kemp finished with 26 points. Another thunderous dunk there. Then Seattle leading late. Michael going for the win. No, he misses. And Seattle hangs on to win. Well, a first for everything. The league sending the Houston Rockets across the pond. The Rockets didn't want to return home hearing how they lost to some no-defense playing, jump shooting, cigarette smoking, wine drinking, zone defense playing Europeans. And did I mention that Hakeem Olajuwon was not going to play? He was on the shelf and actually on the bench watching this one. No worry, because Robert Horry had it going on and on until the break of dawn. Hitting nothing but cord there. You know what? Call 911, because this man is on fire. He finished with 20 points. The Rockets led by 9 at the break. Third quarter action, Pete Chilcutt with a miss inside. Clyde with the flush. And the Rockets won that game against Australia, 116-72. Then on Saturday, the championship game against Buckler Bologna. Sounds like a good sandwich. Well, Clyde ate it all up with a left-handed hook jam in Orlando Woolridge's grill. But Orlando comes back and gives a little back to Houston, stuffing one home. Woolridge had 34. The Rockets led by 7 at the half. Then Drexler went to work with help from Sam Cassell inside. Sweet Sam had 23. Then some defense. Robert Horry with the tomahawk jam. He had only 10, but the Rockets win it easily, 126-112. The Rockets truly are the world champs. Congratulations to Rudy T and his crew. Well, it's time for a breather, but still ahead on the NBA Today. Another divisional preview in the works. We'll see who's packing a punch in the Pacific Division. It's that West Coast thing when we come back. And also an interview with the coach most likely to give his players books on the power of Zen. Yes, the son of a preacher man and a heck of a coach. Phil Jackson coming right up.
For quality parts, accessories, and service, come to Pep Boys, America's Automotive Supercenter. And by Fannie Mae, showing America a new way home.
Hey, didn't the Million Man March mean anything to Chris Webber? Come on, stop the violence, man. The league fining Webber and Luke Longley $7,500 each and suspending them for the first regular season game for this beatdown. Rasheed Wallace was also fined 5 G's. Meanwhile, Oliver Miller is reaching into his wallet for $5 grand and suspended a game after leaving the bench in this game against Philadelphia. Oliver may be offering some tips to Sean Bradley on how to put more calories in his diet. Put him up, Sean. All right, joining us now, the head coach of the Chicago Bulls and author of the book Sacred Hoops, Phil Jackson, head coach of Chicago. Coach, thanks a lot for joining us. A lot in your book about Michael Jordan. Let us ask you about him. Is he back at the standard where he was in the 92-93 season?
Well, Mark, I think so. Basketball training camp's been real good for him this year, and last night we played Indiana. We played the Seattle Supersonics, one of the better defensive teams in the league, and I think Michael had 34 or 35 points in 33 minutes. He was knocking them dead.
Let me ask you about Dennis Rodman, somebody who everyone is inquiring about. Has he missed any practices yet? Been late for any buses yet, Phil?
No, Dennis is right on time. He's been doing everything according to the scripture, so to speak, and we feel real comfortable with him on the court. He's fitting in well, Mark.
Phil, why are we to expect? There are cynics out there and critics out there that say, why is he going to be any different in Chicago than he was in San Antonio? How do you answer those critics?
Well, you know, we don't expect people to change their personalities. And, you know, if this is part of Dennis's personality, it may happen, it may not happen. But, you know, we're not making a big deal about it. If it happens, you know, we're just going to go right on, and Dennis will come back and do whatever he has to do to rejoin us. We're not going to be distracted. This team, the Chicago Bulls, has been through zillions of distractions in the past 7 years since I've been here. A lot of them I mentioned in Sacred Hoops, you know, the spiritual lessons of a hardwood warrior. And we've talked about them in this book as being incidents that the team has been able to just look on by and remember the goal. Winning a championship is most important.
And one of the changes this year, of course, is Tony Kukoc. You're talking about bringing him off the bench as the sixth man. Will he accept his new role as sixth man, Phil?
I don't think he'll have any trouble with that. I think Tony's a believer in what he has to do. Tony played sixth-man role with the Croatian national team, the Yugoslavian team, really, back in the late 80s when he was still a youngster.
Phil,
he was coming off the bench.
Yeah, is this team that much better, Phil, to win the division this year?
Well, division winning chances are going to be, you know, up against Indiana, basically. Indiana's going to be the team with us that's going to be the best team in our division. Conference-wise, Orlando and New York all are going to figure in chasing that conference championship.
Phil, thanks a lot. I enjoyed looking at that chapter that began, if you meet the Buddha in the lane, then feed him the ball. And thanks a lot once again for joining us.
Thanks, Mark.
All right. Well, the pity party for Charles Barkley continues in '95. There's a part of the collective consciousness of fans that wants to see Chuck with the trophy in June. With a healthy Charles, Phoenix is a legitimate contender. The Pacific is still Charles's world. He's got his mind on his money and his money on his mind.
Well, I'm playing this year strictly for money. Making too much money to retire. This year, I'm playing strictly for hard-earned cash.
2 straight years now, Charles Barkley and the Suns have been bounced from the playoffs by the Rockets. Advancement may depend on health. Barkley, Wayman, Tisdale, Kevin Johnson, and Danny Manning missed a combined 102 games last season. Another factor is the middle. Phoenix dealt for ex-Cav John Hot Rod Williams, hoping to end its search for a center.
I feel it was another chance for me to have opportunity to win a championship. And, you know, you got Charles Barkley that, hey, I'm still going to play with a great player because we got rid of our great player, Mark Price. And when I seen him traded Mark, I figured, hey, it's time for everybody to go.
And for the second year in a row, the Seattle Supersonics have been eliminated in round 1.
Seattle's been the Big Easy the past 2 playoff years, first round and out. Despite dealing for Hersey Hawkins and drafting Sherrell Ford, the Sonics' fate rests in the hands of Gary Payton and Sean Kemp. Kemp seeks development of his half-court game, while Payton hopes to get over being scorched by another hot point guard in the playoffs. Another postseason failure could mean the breakup of this team. The resurgence of the LA Lakers was one of the big surprises of last season. Nick Van Exel emerged as the team leader, Cedric Ceballos became a capable scorer, and Eddie Jones's explosiveness made him one of the league's top rookies. Vlade Divac enjoyed his finest season, averaging 16 points and 10.5 rebounds per game. Now the team hopes that same consistency can come from the enigmatic Eldon Campbell.
I told Eldon last year in the playoffs, I said he's going to be very important to us because when he plays well, we play well. And I think in the playoffs, he showed that he could play. We did pretty good, but we didn't accomplish anything. So now this season, we're coming in with the same attitude. Eldon's going to have to show up. Vlade's going to be there, and we all got to just help each other out. When one person's not doing well, we got to lift them up.
With a 39-43 record, the Sacramento Kings enjoyed their finest season since arriving in California. They're blessed with potential stars like Walt Williams and second-year forwards Michael Smith and Brian Grant. But the heart and soul of the team remains Mitch Richmond. The question is who will be teaming up with him in the backcourt.
Very anxious to see how the point guards do. That'll be what we'll evaluate.
Bobby Hurley,
Weber controversy. New coach Rick Adelman hopes strife doesn't continue with Tim Hardaway and Latrell Sprewell.
Sprewell's going to jam on here.
Timmy came to me in the shoot-around, and, you know, we talked. And, you know, after that, it was pretty much dead.
I initiated that. He was kind of mad at me, and I understood that. Somebody has to be a man, go up to somebody and talk to somebody. At first, I didn't want to step up, and he didn't want to step up. But if we was going to play on the same team and enjoy success like we want to enjoy success, somebody had to step up.
The front line is anchored by #1 pick Joe Smith. The Rook represents the present and future of the Warriors. They'll try to put their embattled 26-win season.
Cleveland and keep it there. For now, anyway. Stay with us. We'll be back.
And themselves their own high flyer by obtaining two-time slam dunk champ Harold Miner from Cleveland in exchange for forward Victor Alexander. But Saturday, after Alexander failed the team physical, the Cavaliers rescinded the deal. Kevin Duckworth finally wore out his welcome in Washington and was traded to the Bucks. But the Duck and his sore knee have yet to pass the Bucks physical. Speaking of ex-Blazers, Jerome Kersey signed a one-year deal with the Warriors on Wednesday. Kersey wore the black and red in Portland for 11 years and now will once again play for his ex-Blazer boss, Rick Adelman. As for the Blazers, they had unexpected trouble Wednesday getting seats ready for their first game at their new home, the Rose Garden. Tip-off was delayed for about an hour as Blazers employees hustled to put in the rest of the seats for their faithful fans.
My reaction was I was glad that I had extra time.
Center on Wednesday. The next state-of-the-art arena should be open for business in the fall of 1997.
Coca-Cola Classic. Always the real thing. Always Coca-Cola.
Played by Kemp, dribbles, fires. Kemp blocks the 20-footer. On the rebound, Wingate flings it ahead to Kemp, who takes it in.
Good if it goes. Look out. Look out. Quick turn to the hoop. Stackhouse on the post pattern. Knicks have found that out the past few seasons. Final seconds. Corner set. Whoa, what a shot.
Here comes Kendall Gill. Down the middle. Penetrate. Oh, that is beautiful.
The percentages are in Houston's favor. If you watch, you better watch this. Oh, I'm telling you, you better watch this.
Tony guessed right. Run, Jason. Oh, boy.
That's right, Michael. Get down. And here come the Bulls right back down the floor. Lob from...
Oh, yeah.
Turns and faces. Dribble drive. Beats Garnett. Underneath. Slam dunk. Basket counts. Foul.
And Jason Williams can play some sand. Sprewell's going to jam on here.
Madison over here to Gill. Underneath to the unguarded Johnson.
Rude. We'll see you next week at 5:30 Eastern. I'm Mark Jones.